What is your body telling you? What is your pain or disease telling you? Why are you making yourself sick? I'm going to start this episode by proposing this radical idea. When you understand the language of the body, your own illnesses, disease, and body pain become signs, and each person out there becomes transparent. We are quite literally wearing our issues on our sleeves, and the reason we have so much illness, pain, disease, and discomfort in our bodies is because we are failing to listen to and understand the messages our bodies are constantly sending us. Whatever it is you're experiencing, whether it's pain, inflammation, an infection, cuts, broken limbs, or whatever else, everything is giving you valuable information, even the smallest thing. My favorite yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, I've talked about him a lot, and his book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, said that there is an innate connection between the mind and the body. All diseases have their origin in the mind. The pain that affects the physical body are basically secondary diseases. It took me long enough to start to listen to my body, but when I started to, of course it's a work in progress, I started appreciating the pure intelligence of it and the messages it's always sending me. Anything that you may be experiencing connected to the body, may it be cuts, dry skin, bruises, any type of disease, sore throat, whatever, is signaling something to you. Our body is a message board, and it's communicating with us every moment of the day by penning messages for us to read. So what if we looked at any symptom that we are experiencing as a guide, used it as a map to take us into the information it was trying to communicate, and gently guide ourselves back to alignment? Here's how it works. We know from various sources and research that different people have done and books they have written on the subject. But as I mentioned before on this channel, I'm really into the work of Dolores Cannon, who was a hypnotherapist. She has 18 books, which she wrote with her various experiences with clients she put under hypnosis. But not just any hypnosis. She calls this type of hypnosis QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique. And what she said is she started as a normal hypnosis that was used to access the subconscious and change things, like make people stop smoking and all of that. But then what happened is she started talking and tapping into another level, where she started talking to this super consciousness, as she called it. And this level of the mind was the somnambulistic level. And she was able to bring through the oversoul, this higher intelligence, right? The super consciousness, or universal consciousness, as some people have said. So in this massive body of work, one of the things she started discovering from this oversoul is the nature of our existence in this physical field. What the universal consciousness came through to reveal over and over again for thousands of people around the world who didn't know each other is that we're not actually this body. This body is just an avatar or a skin we wear on this physical plane, and that we're something much greater who chose to come here, right, in order to learn and expand. This universe that was revealed was actually one of the hardest universes to be in because of the density and the physicality of it all. We're not actually in our purest form used to being a dense body that makes an effort to move through time and space. In our purest form, we do it instantly because we're something like pure light, and we move by thought alone, and we create whatever we want. But in order to come here, you're supposed to be a master manifester, a really powerful being who wants to experience this expansion through the physical, basically because it's so hard to do it. It's like a challenge. Think of it like a game. And to make this game more interesting, the Earth plane has rules, right? Just like any game. And one of the rules of this game is that you don't know the rules. Another rule is that you forget you're even playing a game, and you forget who you are, and that you're the one who actually designed this game. You're basically playing the game in the dark with the blindfold over your eyes. However, we couldn't just send our avatars down here without a system to deliver messages to ourselves, right? We wanted to have that backup. So we wanted to give some sort of direction or steer ourselves towards what we came here to accomplish. But the question is, how do we get those messages through from the part of us that is all-knowing to the avatar who doesn't remember shit about who they are? Our challenge is to develop the ability to successfully receive those messages. If you're speaking to someone and trying to convey a message and they're not listening, what do? You speak louder, right? Probably. What if they're still not listening, distracted by this shiny thing and that shiny thing? What do then? If you choose to not hear the messages, then the all-knowing you would have to find other, more radical ways of relaying the message. And one type of message you're going to have a hard time ignoring is some type of pain, disorder, or disease in the body. Your body is going to speak to you, and if you're not listening, it's going to get louder and louder and louder until it starts shouting at you. You get the picture. Of course, sometimes on this human plane, and depending on our level of development, which is neither good nor bad, everybody is on their own path, everybody has their own consciousness. I'm not judging. Some people will be so caught up in the emotions and the drama of this little avatar existence and the situations that are presenting themselves that they will literally be unable to see around the corner of the little maze and become so totally consumed by it that they forget that they're even in a maze. This is an experience, right? And the path that each individual has is their own. There's a reason for everything. I just want you to know that there's another option available to you. I'm not judging one experience or another experience. I realize the messages from your body can be confusing. It's important to know that a symptom you're experiencing right now isn't necessarily connected to a present or a recent event or a recent emotion even. The emotions that we have pushed down, right, denied, disowned, and rejected, that haven't been addressed will get stored somewhere in the body, right? Whether in the tissues or an organ or the skin or wherever. The physical manifestation of a disease, an upset, an inflammation may be the result of something that's been present for a long time, something that you could have been feeling for weeks, months, or even years. Now, fortunately, we have a guide map to better understand our symptoms. It's a general rule of thumb, and before we address specific body parts, if you're experiencing pain, right? Pain, that's often resistance to something. You might be holding on to something that you often can't release. Resistance might mean not being able to let go of a belief, thought, behavior, person, or even circumstance. Pain wants your attention, so in dealing with it, acknowledgement is essential. If you're experiencing acute or chronic pain, ask yourself, is there anything you're holding on to? A person, a feeling, or a belief? It can be anything. Are you feeling resentful towards someone or guilty of something? Are you holding on to feelings of shame? Inflammation, on the other hand, is associated with anger. So maybe you're feeling angry or irritated about something or someone, or maybe you're struggling to process or accept someone's opinion or belief, or something is in conflict with the way you're thinking or feeling. Maybe you're finding something or someone unacceptable according to your personal worldview, right? And that irritates you or angers you. An infection signifies giving your power away to someone else. Maybe you're feeling under attack by someone to the point where you feel unable to defend yourself. Another thing, regardless of what gender or non-binary you identify with, everyone has a feminine side and a masculine side, which in Eastern philosophy is called the yin and the yang. So basically the left side of your body is associated with the feminine. So if you're having issues on this side, you might want to look at your ability to surrender, for example, receive, nurture others, nurture yourself, care for people, or listen to your own inner knowing. Those are all feminine qualities. The right side is associated with the masculine, and what it represents is your ability to be assertive or dominant, to use your intellectual capacity, for example, as opposed to your emotional capacity, to, acknowledge your power or drive or confidently make peace for yourself and your own needs in this world. Those are the masculine qualities. And they have nothing to do with gender. So in the next episode, this Wednesday, I'm going to tell you specifically what message each ailing body part is trying to give you. I'm going to go into digestion, cancer, teeth, legs, throat, and a lot more. I realize the message we're getting, right, from our body can be confusing. Unfortunately, there's no translation app for the type of language our body is using. We all know on some level though, right? I firmly believe that. But until we learn how to translate all this, we tend to move in the dark, which is okay. The fact that you're watching this video now is another type of message, and it's always up to you what you choose to do with it. Whether you choose for it to empower you or keep you feeling stuck in the mud. Until Wednesday, I'm sending you love. May you be happy, peaceful, liberated.